The transfer station will be closed for much of tomorrow. We'll tell you why. Plus, we talk with Police Chief Paul McDonald about their partnership with Gosnold that is helping many addicts find treatment. These stories on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, December 1st, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. All Department of Public Works facilities, including the transfer station and the Highway Division, will be closed for half a day tomorrow for a department-wide meeting. Assistant DPW Director Rob Steen says getting all staff together at once is invaluable.
From 7 to noon, all those facilities will be closed to the public, and we're getting everybody together to do some training and some employee development and things of that nature, which it's very rare for us, because we're spread over 5 facilities, to have everybody in one place at one time. So at the beginning of December, we started this last year, and we're going to continue it as a tradition. That sort of first week in December, we try to get everybody together for a 1 half-day meeting to really hit the most important points that we need to talk to everybody about, whether it be, in this one, we're going to do like an hour of safety presentations. We've got probably about half an hour, 45 minutes of strategy presentations. We'll have some talk on snow and ice, those kinds of things. So yeah, but in order to be able to do that, we have to close those facilities. We got to pull the people in to talk to them.
And Steen says DPW facilities will be back up and running tomorrow at noon. The Barnstable Police Department, along with staff from Gosnold, are helping overdose victims find help. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin finds out more during her chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We share that interview with you now.
So, Chief, I wanted to talk, of course, the region really is working hard to deal with so many issues relating to opiate drug abuse and overdoses. And I understand, like many Cape Towns are doing, Barnstable Police has partnered with the Gosnold Treatment Center. Tell me a little bit about this partnership and what you're hoping to achieve through this.
We've reached out to Gosnold. I know Gosnold has been working with a couple of local departments. There's a void out there for some outreach work, some follow-up work for individuals who have overdosed relatively recently. You know, in the last 11 months of this year, we've had over 141 overdoses, which is an incredibly high number. So we've partnered up with Gosnold, and the goal is to provide outreach and access to treatment for those that are interested, and also to their families. And the goal, of course, is to identify and introduce the victims of opiate overdose to services available through Gosnold. And we've already gone out twice. We go out every Tuesday. We pair their counselors up with police officers from the Community Impact Unit or officers who have received the crisis intervention training, and we give them a list of all the recent overdoses. And they go out there and they talk to them, and they let them know what the services are available to them. And I got to tell you, so far it's been pretty successful. I believe in the last 2 weeks we've already got 4 individuals into some type of counseling or into some type of sober living alternative. So it's working out very, very well. And this is a huge void that's out there. This outreach is desperately needed for these individuals.
Absolutely, and I think so often we do see the folks who are overdosing. It happens again and again and again. So to be able to provide them with the services that they need, certainly important.
Well, you mentioned that. That's a great point. Of the 141 people that we've had, and these numbers are conservative numbers, these are only our numbers, I believe 23 of them have overdosed multiple times, and it's a great training and learning experience also for the police officers, because we deal with individuals at their worst when they're overdosing. Now when we go back and see them, when they're with their family and they're in their home environment, we can see how desperate these individuals are to try to conquer this terrible addiction.
Absolutely, and good to hear that the folks who are addicted are really wanting to make a difference in their lives. So how much follow-up, Chief, is there? Obviously, working to get the folks into counseling. How much follow-up, and again, this is a new program, but how much follow-up do you anticipate as they go through the process?
It's up to each individual. I mean, they have to want it. It's not forced upon them. Actually, when we show up, we show up with the counselor. We show up in a mock police cruiser. Sometimes they're a little apprehensive when we first get there. But once they open the door and they start talking to the councils, they've been extremely receptive. And anyone who wants that additional follow-up, I mean, we will keep going back to them with the councils, to get them the treatment they need. And the goal is to cure them of this addiction. It's not going to happen just 1 or 2 meetings. They have to pledge themselves to this, and they have to recognize that they have a problem. And a lot of them do. And it breaks your heart sometimes to see how desperate these individuals are fighting this.
Indeed, and I know that, again, mental illness, depression, all those things kind of come into play when we think about not just opiate abuse, but substance abuse in general. And of course, we're heading into the holidays, into the cold, bleak, isolated part of the winter. Are you concerned that we're going to see, again, another uptick in substance abuse related issues?
I don't think it can get much worse. It's already going. I don't know if we're going to see an uptick in the number of overdoses. Right now, the way it's going, we probably will double the amount that we had last year. But as we go into holidays, especially from Thanksgiving through New Year's, the number of suicides because of the holiday season, because of the situation people find themselves in, number of suicides, they will spike around this time of year. So that's another issue we have to deal with.
Absolutely. So again, the partnership with Gosnold, is this for everyone who you encounter that has an issue, or is it do people have to request this service? How does that work?
No, we go to everyone. We identify them, through our record system. Then we have a list. Yesterday they prepared the list. They will show up here around 9 o'clock, and they will go out unannounced visits. They can let us in. They can talk to us. It's up to them. It's strictly voluntary. But so far, no one's turned us away. No one's asked us to leave. They've at least allowed us to come in with Gosnold, and they're willing to listen to Gosnold and hear what they have to say and the services that they will provide. So with that, it's a huge step in the right direction, and also it's a huge help to the family. Because it's not just the individuals going through this; it's also their families going through this with them.
Absolutely. Well, Chief, certainly think that's a great addition to BPD, and looking forward to seeing how that helps so many people. Over the past couple of weeks, of course, we didn't talk last week. How have things been here in town? Things have been
not too bad. It was relatively quiet over Thanksgiving weekend. We did have one stabbing Sunday night. It came in around 9 o'clock. It was unsure when it first came in where the stabbing had occurred. We had no cooperation from the victim or from the individuals who brought him in. Teaming up with Yarmouth PD, we did find out that the incident did occur in Yarmouth, so the investigation was turned over to Yarmouth. Then back on November 18th, we had a relatively significant domestic violence assault, which occurred on Hampden Circle in Hyannis. The individuals were subsequently arrested over in Centerville and charged with multiple violations, including possession of a handgun, in mayhem, and domestic violence. But besides those two calls, and of course, number of motor vehicle accidents, we're always dealing with motor vehicle accidents. At this time of year, we beefed up our patrol along the Route 132 corridor, because this time of year, with the other problem we have, but there's always a spike in the B&E motor vehicles and the shoplifting in the Cape Cod malls for the holiday season. So we just want everybody that if you are in the malls, if you have gone shopping, if you do have items in your vehicle, lock and secure them in the trunk of your vehicle when they're in the parking lots, because we do have individuals just walking through the parking lots looking for a vehicle to break into. But we beefed up our patrols, and we have unmarked and plainclothes officers in all the mall parking lots up and down Route 132.
Such an important reminder, Chief, for people, because we know, of course, it is the busy holiday season. People are out there shopping, and I think sometimes you get caught up. You want to drop things off in your car. You don't think, maybe you forget to lock it, and you know that there are, unfortunately, folks out there kind of canvassing the parking lot and keeping an eye out. So making sure you lock your doors and making sure you secure those purchases, maybe hide them under a blanket or in the trunk or something.
Absolutely,
is so
absolutely, because
important.
they are definitely out there. We know everyone's in a hurry. They want to park the car. They want to get in. They want to get out, but you really have to secure whatever's in your vehicle. To secure it, the best way to do is secure in the trunk of your vehicle.
Absolutely. And of course, we have holiday strolls coming up this weekend too, Chief. Is that something that the BPD participates in, kind of helping with pedestrian traffic control at least?
Pedestrian traffic control, and some of the strolls we shut down the streets. I know we have the Hyannis stroll on Saturday, with the Master Mills one on Sunday. I believe those involve no road closures, but we will have foot patrols out there. The Barnstable Village stroll, we will shut down part of Route 6A, and then, of course, the Osville stroll, we shut down Main Street, Osville, and the Centerville stroll, we shut down Main Street from the Four Corners up to Finney's Lane. So we will be involved in all the Christmas strolls.
And you can hear from Chief McDonald every Tuesday on Barnstable This Morning. The hour-long news program airs weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will have our Business Barnstable segment. We'll talk with Finance Director Mark Milne. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.